Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Blaze podcast on Blaze TV. As always, Ed Kimberley and Stu Coles. And we have a plethora of guests tonight. We have some familiar faces, David Clements, Ross Venus, and Luke Ferrara. And if you've been following Elite League hockey for a little while, you'll probably remember this name as a bit of a blast from the past. No offense. It's Paul Sample. Paul used to play in the Elite League, played for Belfast and Sheffield and a couple of other teams as well. And more recently is heading up Gameplan for just became a Blaze partner and and is also the boss of V Feds and David. So Paul, welcome to the show. Thank you very much for joining us. And I hope you don't mind me calling you a blast from the past, but I remember watching you growing up.
Well, that makes me feel super old. No, I don't mind at all. Call me blast from the past. I feel about 500 years old. But no, it's nice to be here, mate. I appreciate you having us on.
See, this is the thing as well, because Gameplan's been popping up everywhere. You have quite a few players from across the league signed up. And I didn't know who was behind it. I didn't know you were the driving force until just the other when Craig was talking about doing this and having you on the show. And I was like, that Paul Sample. And he was like, yeah, that Paul Sample. So, I guess the whole thing from watching previous interviews that you've done and listening to previous podcasts you've done is about giving players another lifeline out of transitioning out of hockey into, I guess, the real world. It's weird calling it retirement because, you know, guys are in their 30s, maybe late 20s. They're very lucky, they're early 40s when they transition into life after hockey. It's becoming an increasing thing, isn't it? The Blaze do university deals. They've been doing that for quite some time. And this is a very interesting outlet that you've got here.
Yeah, it's something we're super passionate about with Gameplan. The business was set up really to provide those opportunity to athletes as they start to transition out of sport. Obviously, it's something that's pretty close to my heart. You know, I'm retired. I'm coming up 10 years ago. And the reason I got out was I think my wife was pregnant at the time. I was playing in Belfast, and I just wanted a little bit of stability for my family. I think, something I think a lot of the lads struggle with, to carry on playing, you have to move around an awful lot. You're in a different city every year, in a different apartment. I think when you start to, put down roots and have children and stuff, it's sometimes tough to find that balance. I think, over the years of being retired, I've been fortunate to do a couple of things in business that have worked out okay, and obviously being able to provide for my family. But I've seen a lot of, my friends get to the end of their career and then struggle. So, this is a concept that we've had for a long time, and we're just over the moon to be able to be doing it now, and obviously seeing the guys thrive. Now, the lads that come on board, they don't have to be at retirement age. This is something they can do alongside playing ice hockey, kind of building for a career ready, when they need it.
And that's fantastic as well, because if you think about it, and if we're all going to be totally honest with each other here, the guys that you have signed up are playing in the Elite League and I think in the NIHL. I always call it the ENL as a bad habit, the NIHL as well. This isn't NHL money. These guys aren't making millions. So to have that subsidiary is really important.
Yeah, well, I think across sports, I think that is the case. People are seeing the headlines where footballers are making, X amount per week. And the reality of it is that, 99% of athletes, they're making a living when they're playing, but when it comes to the end of it, they've got to find a new career. They've gave their full life to a sport, which, don't get me wrong, is the best thing in the world to do. I loved it. The guys love doing it. But when they get to the end of it, they've still got mortgages to pay. They've still got children. They've got, wives to provide for, and obviously need to find something new to do. And it's daunting for a lot of people.
So with that in mind, it's daunting. You say you've got all those options around you. How did you get into insurance?
So, like I said, it's a concept that I've had for pretty much since I got out of the sport. But probably 5 or 6 years, I've took it reasonably seriously. It was just a chance meeting with a family friend of mine. We're actually sat in the barber shop. It's a guy that I've always gone to for my mortgages and life insurance and stuff like that. We just got, you wouldn't tell by my hair, but, I'm actually quite proud of it. And we were sat in the shop having a chat and got talking. I was telling him about this concept that I've got, to build a business around professional athletes. he was telling me about kind of what he does day to day. Well, he's been in the industry for 28 years, so he knows it inside and out. And it was just that kind of that light bulb moment, really.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say as well, considering what you were just talking about prior to that, Paul, about developing also the guys' skills in terms of the staff, the players who are transitioning. It's also very good to give stability to people who are your clients as well, because I mean, I got a mortgage this year, and it is scary if you don't know what you're doing. You really have to shop around. You really have to talk to people you trust. So it's a big service that you provide.
100%. I think the quality of our service, shines through. Like I said, my partner's been in the industry for 28 years. So, we've got some of the best pricing on the market, and obviously our guys are, they go into, an awful lot of training. So when we offer a product or a service, you can rest assured that we're putting you in the best possible position. And most of our business comes from people who have current mortgages in place, or they have life insurance, and we're looking at it and put them in a better position, or saving them money. But it is quite a daunting thing to go through. And I think having guys that are approachable, like the Gameplan boys, they're certainly knowledgeable, but they can sit down and tell you a story, have a chat. They're not in the the stripy blue pinstripe suits like most financial advisors. Although I'd like them to wear a few more shirts instead of team tracksuits and stuff to meetings. But it's working.
Hey, who'd have thought those? Who'd have thought those times that you were cattle prodded into the bar to meet with the fans after a 5-0 loss, where you had to make chit chat, would come in handy as a transferable skill, eh, Paul?
That's where the business is born, mate.
No, I understand. Hey, look, it was really awesome talking to you. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you very much for partnering up with the Blaze and for giving some of these great guys an outlet as well. Because I know from talking to retired guys who've gone out of the sport, not really knowing what to do next, it can be tough. So it's a good service you're doing on both sides of the coin. So.
No problem. Absolute pleasure to have me on, and just obviously for the fan base, these guys are just starting off in their career, so give them a boost, give them something to do. Obviously they're stuck with no hockey to play, so give them a shout and see if they can help you guys out in any way.
Thank you, sir, and hopefully we get to see you around the Sky Dome sooner rather than later.
Oh, absolutely. Thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, take care. Thanks, Paul.
Thanks.
So I don't know really where to start, Stu, because we have Dave and V who've been playing a little bit closer to home recently in the streaming series. And we have Luke Ferrara, who is over in Krakow, playing his trade now in the Polish league, having spent a little bit of time in wine country, in Bordeaux in France. Seeing as I'm always the mouth and I talk a lot, and you're the sensible one, would you like to make the decision on who we talk to first?
Let's go chronologically, and we'll start with Feds. Okay. The time in France. How did you find playing out there, and maybe even firstly, how did that opportunity come around?
Well, I mean, I was out there a month and I loved it. Great city, great team. Was nice to be playing again after 7 months. That first game wasn't easy, but it was definitely fun to be playing again. And I'd say it's a very similar league to what we used to playing in, so it wasn't too much of a transition. And then I guess really just I got the opportunity through Andrew Johnston. He's playing in Bordeaux and just gave me a message to say they needed cover for an import, which is weird to be an import for a change, but they needed cover for a month. And he called me on a Saturday afternoon, said the GM was interested in me coming out there and playing for a month and then seeing what happens. And I flew out first thing Monday morning, and that was it. Didn't look back.
And you say it's pretty similar standard and sort of games. They have a few less games over there. Was the schedule a little bit easier or tough? What's the differences in the league?
Well, they play in a normal season. I guess they play Friday, Sunday, so they have the day off in between, which is actually kind of nice. We're not used to that. But obviously, right now they've had games postponed and they've had to push games back. So the schedule's kind of all over the place. Sometimes you play one a week, sometimes none, sometimes 2 or 3. So in a normal season, it's nice to have that day off in between. But the first 2 weeks I had a really busy schedule. After 7 months off, 5 games in 2 weeks, and then the second 2 weeks was just practice because the second lockdown kicked in, and no, we couldn't play any games. So,
and a few points as well during your time there. So you kind of made a bit of an impact, and sad to leave, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they're a good team, good players. They helped me play well, and I didn't get to play on a line with Johnny again, which was unfortunate. Maybe I had a few more if he was passing to me still. But yeah, it was definitely a fun time, and I didn't want to leave, but I kind of knew the situation going there. It might be tough to stay, and then obviously lockdown kicking in again. Finances are tough, and they couldn't afford to really pay a player to sit in the crowd because there would have been a spare import. So I understand the decision. Obviously, it's unfortunate, but I was grateful to be able to be there for a month.
But another opportunity has come winding to your door, as you're not talking to us from the UK, you're talking to us from Poland.
I am, yeah, weird. You wouldn't believe it, but got back on a Monday, and then got a message Wednesday morning from it's actually John Armstrong, who plays in Sheffield. He got the offer, but unfortunately he's unable to move right now, so he recommended me, and then a week later I flew out, and yeah, 2 days into it, and here I am.
Hockey's a small world in that sense, isn't it? It's a lot of word of mouth.
Yeah, and I guess you don't really realize till a season like this where you rely on friends and people you've played with, and then you don't, like you said, it's a small world, but it really puts it in perspective at a time like this.
Have you had a chance to meet your new teammates yet? I mean, you said a couple of days in. Have you literally just managed to move in the flat and turn on the computer, or whereabouts?
Yeah, well, I flew out here on what day was it? I can't even remember what day it was. And then I played the next day, and then I think I flew out here Saturday. Had a pre-game skate Sunday, played yesterday. Moved to the proper apartment today because it was ready, and yeah, turned my laptop on, and here I am.
Well, I'm glad that you've got some hockey going at least, and it'll be good to see how you progress over the next few weeks and months.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Looking forward to playing, and yeah, it's nice to see your faces again.
Yeah, you too, bud. Hey, and Stu, you missed out that he hit the ground running there, scoring his first goal all over in Poland in his first game. That's a good start.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't really expect much going into it. I was kind of tired from traveling, and to tell you the truth, I don't even really know where the ice rink is yet. I'm still trying to find my way around the city and just follow my phone, and I don't really understand the words on the map. But yeah, I mean, luckily found the rink, and we had a big win and scored a goal, so it was nice.
Yeah, Krakow is a beautiful city as well, so plenty to enjoy in your downtime, restrictions and stuff pending. I'm not sure what it's like in Poland, but no, it's great to see that you're picking up some hockey over there, and fingers crossed it all goes well for you. And then a little bit closer to home, just down the M1, Dave and Ross have been playing in the streaming series, and it must have been as well for you guys. So good to be playing, and Ross yesterday as well. I'm forgetting my days as well, Luke. You're not the only one. Was it yesterday, the final game, and you capped it off with a big hat trick too?
Yeah, it was yesterday. It was obviously nice to get on the score sheet of draw a blank in the first 3 games. So, but I mean, it was to be expected. 7-8 months without playing, and finally started to feel good on the 4th game, and then now it's all over again, which kind of sucks. But is that just grateful to be able to play really in these terrible times.
And I guess a lot of it is that, there's always rivalry between teams, but in a sense, everyone's kind of in this together, right? So I guess it was a bit of an unusual atmosphere, a lot of camaraderie, I guess is the right word.
Yeah, for sure. Everyone was just happy to be there. Everyone was grateful. There's only 3 teams in the whole country that's played since March. So, the guys that came in, the guys that were already there, it was just like, let's have fun kind of attitude. And everyone enjoyed it, and results aside, it was great fun. Good to be a part of.
One thing that for you is key as well, and I know is a real goal of yours, is to become a mainstay in the national team. And you've been kind of on the fringe. You've been out a few times over the last few years. So it's so important to be playing any kind of hockey right now, with the World's probably going to go ahead in the summer. And Team GB are really behind the 8 ball here, aren't we?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, I want to, if it does go ahead, I want to be on that team. But it's going to be tough, especially if we can't get any more hockey until April or May, whenever this is. But just got to keep working hard in the gym, and then if I do get invited to the training camp, I'm sure it'll be a long training camp in order to prepare. But it's going to be a lot different. But hopefully we can get something going in the new year.
And personally, in the first lockdown too, you had a little bit of fun out in Spain. That must have been kind of nice to take in some spring sun, even though you couldn't exactly do as much as I guess you'd have wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, Spanish lockdown was even tougher than over here. I think we weren't even allowed to go out for exercise. So,
whoa, really?
Yeah. Luckily we
I didn't
had.
know that.
Yeah, luckily we had my girlfriend's parents' dogs with us, and we're allowed out to walk them, but not to exercise ourselves. But yeah, it was good. And then I ended up staying there till sort of the end of August, when I knew the league was getting pushed back. There was still a hope at that point, maybe, but so we came back sort of start of September, and we've been in Coventry together now since.
Because she's back at uni, right? So I guess that was part to come back over to the UK.
Yeah, so she's doing a master's here in Coventry, and obviously I was meant to be playing hockey in Coventry, but that didn't quite work out. But yeah, we're happy here. We're just living in the city centre, and as I said, hopefully we can start playing hockey in the new year, but who knows?
Yeah, fingers crossed. That money from the government's kind of got people talking. It's got me excited. I don't want to be too premature with it though, Stu. I know we're both itching to get back to the Sky Dome.
Yeah, I definitely want to get involved and start calling some more hockey. Although I am a little concerned that the referees are going to be able to hear us from the gallery if we start questioning their decisions. So we'll have to be nice, I think.
Hey, I'm just worried if we have a go at someone coughing up the puck cheaply in the neutral zone there, and they can hear us when they come back to the bench. That's even worse. But David as well. I mean, out of everybody here, you were the most recent to play in Milton Keynes, and that was quite some time ago when you first came back from playing in North America. Was it a bit of a weird experience to go back to MK to play?
It was and it wasn't. I mean, it was completely different times, like 6 years ago, with different staff and stuff, and a few different players. But it was quite easy to go back into the dressing room and be surrounded with the majority of the team I played with before, and or played against in that league at the time. So, but in any hockey dressing room, I mean, I think V and Feds can vouch for me here too. Is a couple of days in, you get along with everybody, and it's just you do most of your business on the ice anyway. So, like V said, it was just so good to be playing again. I think the groins were quite sore on that first game back in Swindon. We had 5D that game as well, so it was a rough game, and Sunday morning was quite rough on the body. But no, it was really appreciate the opportunity that Lewis Clifford and MK gave. Me and Ross. Without the opportunity, we'd still be sat here right now without any hockey since March. So it was really good to be back.
And having had, I mean, like you said, 6 years of Elite League experience since you were last there, I guess your role on that team would have been a lot different to when you left too. That must have been kind of fun.
Yeah, I don't think I've played power play, penalty kill, and 5-on-5 in since I was about 18. So it was really good fun, and I enjoyed the opportunity. And don't get me wrong, I mean, there's some great players in that league too. And you look at some guys in Swindon, they have some great players, and Sheffield's top line, with Laker on it and stuff. It was it was competitive. You know, even though we hadn't skated for so long or played competitive games, it was really it was some good hockey being played, and just to be able to play some power play and PK, things I haven't done in a while. It was nice, and to get in those situations I'm not used to. It was good fun.
And I mean, I kind of asked this to Ross as well, but like from all the social media stuff I've seen about it, I think I'm friends on Facebook with a bunch of guys that were involved from both the Sheffield and the MK side. The overwhelming sense of community just was not lost. It was really, really good to see.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not just us that have been missing hockey since March. It's all the fans as well. And I mean, I know it's only 3 teams that got to play in this streaming series, but I think most of the hockey fans around the country got involved and were following along, whether they bought a stream or not, or they would follow it on social media somehow. And it gave people a little bit more hope that maybe something will happen in the new year here, which, I mean, me and V, and I'm sure a lot of the other guys too, are hoping something will get going soon, so we could be playing and fans can be watching their teams again pretty soon.
Dave, another thing as well, actually, for all three of you guys have been at Coventry University. As we mentioned earlier, all 3 of guys have been have signed up with Gameplan. What's that experience been like for you so far? It must be a lot of fun to do something different.
Yeah, for sure. I think we all sort of started training at the same time, around when the season ended, actually. Obviously, the plan was to do it on the side of hockey, give ourselves a bit of extra income or a bit of more things to do during the hockey season, and then pick up when hockey retires. But Feds has obviously found himself in Europe. But for me and David, it's been a blessing in disguise, really, being able to work in these troubled times. But yeah, we went through a lot of training, and we're all at a stage now where we can advise clients on all of their protection needs and stuff like that.
You guys, I guess, grew up watching the same Elite League era that I did. So I guess Paul Sample was a familiar name. Do you remember watching him play?
I believe I actually played against him one year. My first season, I think he was in Newcastle with Danny.
No way.
Stewart. Yeah. But yeah, I do remember watching him as well prior to that.
But Dave, I mean, going back onto the university thing, Gameplan, a really good opportunity to use those skills as well that you picked up with another Blaze partner.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's been quite a wild ride for, I mean, me and Feds doing the MBA during the summer as well as the training. V's been there before, so he's been able to help us with the MBA. But this game plan opportunity, like V said, has been a blessing in disguise for us. With no hockey and no income, it's given us a chance to look forward to learning something new. And if hockey doesn't want to be around for too long, we've got something to fall back on. And it's at the time it was looking at something maybe to help us with our income, but at the same time it's pretty rewarding to see the results on us helping families and people with their protection needs, whether they have policies in place and we can save them some money on their home insurance or anything like that. It's very rewarding to see that we can help protect families the best way that we can. So it's great to be doing something new, but it'll be even better if I can do it alongside playing hockey for sure.
Right on. Stu, anything to wrap up with?
How do I choose which one of you to contact? Do I roll a dice? How do we sort this out? There's 3 of you.
All of us. I mean, if I'm gonna tell the fans to pick their favorite and who they want to talk to, I'm gonna be at the bottom of the pile there, aren't I? So they choose wisely. And Feds is a few hours ahead too, so just be careful.
Yeah, he's tapping up the international clients.
Yeah.
1 hour ahead, it's not a big deal.
Yes. Yeah, bedtime.
No, awesome. Literally, guys, it's been brilliant seeing your faces again. I know we kind of all talked at various points during the summer. Dave, when it gets a little bit less wet, we're going to go play golf again when we're allowed as well. I haven't forgot.
100%.
You beat me last time. We're going to have to try and get that one back. But look, it's awesome that you guys have been able to get to play hockey again. Game Plan's a great opportunity by the sounds of things for all you guys. So it's great to see you're able to grasp that with both hands. I really hope that for V and Dave that we're able to play some more hockey soon. And like we said, Luke, all the best in Poland. I hope it gives you exactly what you want it to, and that you come back with that hot streak that you left us on at the last season. So I guess until we all talk again, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much, guys. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you want to get in touch with any of the three amigos down here, I'm sure the details are on their social media for Game Plan. Until next time, take it easy.